Hello, welcome to the weekly share of the Zera Shimshon. It's Dalid Nisan, Erev Shabbos, Parshas Tazria, and we are going to say a little piece here about the Mitzvah. Okay, why this is Parshas Tazria. So why is the Mitzvah considered dead? Because one of the things that you can the Gemara says that there's three people are considered like dead. A Mitzvah is one of them, and a poor person, and somebody that's not having a good day. Okay. Anyway, it says like this: Adam ki yeh be'or b'tzorah seisa sapachas ha'ba'eres v'haya be'or b'tzorah l'neged tzoras v'huva l'haren ha'kohen ha'achad mi'banav ha'kohen. If a person will have on the skin of his flesh a seis, these are different terminologies for the tzoras. Seis sapachas ha'ba'eres, and it will become a tzoras affliction on the skin of his flesh. He shall be brought to Aaron a kohen or to one of his sons, the kohen. It's only the kohen that can determine this. The Midrash in Vayikra Rabbah 15:2 implies that a person is stricken with saras and other similar afflictions when he has more blood than water in his body. Normally, says the Midrash, the blood versus water ratio is half and half. But certain sins that people can do cause the water ratio to increase. And then he becomes what's called an adripicus. He says somebody afflicted with a certain type of illness. Okay, whatever that is. On the other hand, sometimes the ratio of blood to water increases and then he becomes a mitzvah. According to this explanation, we need to understand why the Torah says if a person will have on the skin of his flesh. Okay, the blood is contained within the body, and in that case, this is where the tzoras is mainly contained as well. Why then does the Torah imply that this affliction exists only on the skin? The Gemara says that a mitzvah is considered like a dead person. It's a Gemara in Nedarim 64. The simple reason is this is due to what Aaron said about his sister Miriam, who was stricken with tzoras. Let her not be like the dead. The pasuk of Midbar 12:12. Another reason one may think that a mitzvah is like a dead person is because the impurity both affects the entire tent in which they are found. However, in other words, if a mitzvah is in a tent and somebody else comes in the tent, that person becomes contaminated with tumah as well. However, we can suggest yet another possible approach by quoting the words of the Ran in Hilchos Shabbos, in Gemara Shabbos, and cited in the Taz and Orach Chaim 3:16 in Hilchos Shabbos. The Ran says that someone who strikes a creature with skin, like a reptile, on Shabbos and causes its blood to congeal near the surface of the skin is accountable for his actions. And why? Since there's an Isser of Chabala on Shabbos, right? You can't hit somebody and cause them a bruise. Since the creature has skin, the skin holds the blood back from the emerging. If, however, there were no skin, the blood would have leaked out of the creature's body. The one who hit it is therefore considered to having killed its soul in that particular spot, as it is written, for blood is the soul. Okay, that's a pasuk in Devarim. We can apply the same reasoning to the mitzvah. Why does the affliction appear? It is due to a very large proportion of blood in a person's body, which is being held back from emerging only due to the person's skin. Since otherwise the body would get rid of the unnecessary blood, since the skin is keeping the blood from emerging, it pulls together near the surface of the skin and begins to create boils, boils that eventually develop into tzoras, which means that in reality the blood already left the person's system and was only held back from emerging completely due to the skin, which keeps it in place. This explains why Chazal considered Mitzora to be a dead person. The blood that entered his skin is considered like it died, since it already left his body, but was only stopped from emerging completely due to a technical issue, that is, because the skin held it back. As the Ran points out, when blood pools near the surface, it is as if the soul had been taken. With this explanation, we can also understand the reason why the Torah says if a person will have this on the skin of his flesh, it is because the main cause of tzaras is an overabundance of blood, which tries to emerge through the skin, thereby causing the lesions of tzaras on the surface of the skin. This is from the Zera Shimshon and our Parsha and Ois Vav. And everyone should have a wonderful Shabbos. And, one of the causes that there's 7 reasons why we get tzaras, and one of them, the Gemara in Erechin says, is speaking Lashon Hora. So we don't have this condition, Bisman Hazeh, but we could get other afflictions that are caused by blood. And, everybody should be very careful and learn the Hilchas Shmiras HaLashon and Hilchas Chavetz Chaim on a daily basis, if not at least weekly, if not a daily basis, and get it inculcated that what all the complications of this Isra are. Anyway, everybody have a wonderful Shabbos and be b'simcha.